Hey guys, it's me again. As you may have noticed, you haven't been seeing too many videos from us lately. I've been in finals the past couple of weeks. I think Brevin's really busy too, so we haven't had as much time to get more of them out, but given that it's summer, hopefully we'll be able to get back on track and start making videos regularly again. Of course, it is summer, and given that most of our viewers so far are still in school, summer presents a great opportunity to catch up on writing as, well, at least speaking for myself, I haven't been able to do much of it in the past couple months with school. However, while summer presents a great opportunity to write a lot, it also presents a great opportunity to just slack off. And we don't want to do that. So here are 3 ways that you can productively spend your summer in a way that will help your writing. Number 1, set goals for yourself. Now, I know it's easy to come to summer just thinking, oh, of course I'll have lots of time to write, so I'm gonna definitely write. And, well, that works for some people, but for others of us, if we don't have a definite goal, it might be this sort of thing where it's like, oh, I'll do some today, I'll try to do a lot more tomorrow, but I don't exactly know what I'm working toward. Given that, I find that at least for me, I'm able to be a lot more productive during the summers when I set a goal for myself. So that I'm going to write X number of new chapters in my book, I'm going to edit so many thousand words, and put a definite goal that I'm always striving to meet. So for example, for me this summer, while I'm editing my book, my goal is to get through my next round of editing, of just going through the whole book. I've been sending out to some people who've been critiquing it, so to be applying those critiques, to going through and doing some of the nitty-gritty grammar details and doing all of that, and have the goal of finishing that round of editing for my book by the end of the summer, so that I have a nice definite goal that I can be striving toward and know that, okay, I have to do this much this week and this much this week if I want to get it done at the end without having to do everything the last week. So the first thing I definitely suggest is to set a definite goal for yourself on exactly what you want to get done this summer. Number 2, read a lot. Now, I know what you're saying. Reading isn't the same as writing. And so while as writers, probably most of us like to read, the question is, how does that exactly affect our writing? Well, it can help in a couple ways. First, if you're reading a really good book, well, at least for me, that just inspires me to write after being able to just spend an hour reading a book that's so good, and then to finish it, like, oh, if only I could write something like that. Another thing it can do, and we've done some posts on the blog, you can find links to in the description, is after you read the book, if you really liked it, see what made it work. What different things in the book made you really like it, and then go take those things out of the book and go ahead and apply it to what you're writing right now. So both to enjoy it and to have it inspire you, and to learn stuff from it and what you can do better in your book. If you're looking for suggestions, 2 books that I read recently that I really enjoyed is Silhouette by Dave Swavely and The Pawn by Stephen James. And if you haven't heard of them, I think they're both really good, and there's going to be a link down in the description of where to get them off Amazon if you're curious to read more of them. But number 2 is not only try to write a lot, but make sure you read a lot as well. Number 3, meet and talk to just interesting people. Now, we've all heard the maxim, write what you know about. And well, for me, as a fantasy writer, I kind of take an initial look at the saying and you say, well, that's good for some people, I guess, but for a fantasy writer, I mean, sure, if you see a couple elves running through the forest, let me know about that, but otherwise, that doesn't really apply to me. Right? Here's the thing, we may not have experience of seeing elves and dwarves and how they interact, but we've definitely seen how people interact. And one of the key things in writing is to craft really interesting characters that your readers love. And people like interesting characters because people are interesting. And a lot of realism in your writing is making sure that your characters are interesting just because people are interesting. So if you have the time, get a chance to get to know some interesting people this summer. Whether that means having a summer job and talking with some of your coworkers there, going out to the park, talking with some of the people and seeing what they're like, or just spending time with friends, but not just for the communication's sake, but also look at how do people react. What are some different interesting traits of people you know? Try to get to understand some of these interesting traits more, see different fascinating sides of your friends' personalities. And then by looking all that, you'll be able to get a better sense of what makes people interesting, and thus what you can do to make your characters interesting as well. So those are my 3 tips for how to be able to write more productively this summer. Both set realistic and good goals for yourself so that you'll be able to get stuff done. Also read a lot to see what works, and also talk to people. Learn how people interact so that you can add more realism and have more interesting characters in your writing. Follow these things, have a productive summer, and hopefully your writing will improve as well.